Thank you for watching News Echoes. My name is Sheldon Johnson. We're here we discuss African news for global audience, and I'm so glad you are watching today. We have so many things to discuss, and but let me just bring in our usual guest, and of course with an unusual guest on this particular episode. We have all the way from Toronto, our man Sir George. Sir George Chuku, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Sir Johnson, and good morning, Billy. Good morning, viewers from around the world.
Yeah, Bidi. Well, you've introduced her already. Bidi is from Lagos, Nigeria. Bidi, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good to have me here.
In the seat of power in Abuja, we have Dr. Osita Anyemeka. Dr. Osita, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson, and good to have you here, viewers.
Last but not the least is our man in Milan. We call him Mark in Milan. Mark in Milan, you're welcome to the program.
I'm always going with my hands up like this. Salutes, everybody. Morning.
Yeah, maybe
Morning,
those hands should go up for Morocco. Morocco made it to the last 8 in the World Cup, yes. And all other African teams have gone down the drain. They put up a good show, especially Tunisia beating France, because one of the things they said in Europe here is that no African team can beat a European team. That's a proverb of the past years. Tunisia beat France 1-0, and Morocco beat Spain. Spain could not even score one penalty. Exactly. Oh, come on. Sir George, how are you reading this thing?
Well, it's the sign of the times. You know, the unusual are happening already. So the status quo is finished now. It's new kids on the block. So we're looking forward to seeing if that cup will come to Africa this time.
Okay. And Mark, you are copying it well.
Yes. Well, we are so excited. This is the first time Morocco, an African country, not of Africa, is making it to the quarterfinal of the World Cup. And it's quite impressive. I mean, the football was created, and the Brazilians just took it over. The Germans, the Spanish, the Uruguay, Italian. I mean, Africans too play good soccer. So it's time.
Yeah, thank you. Bidi, I know you may not be particularly playing football, but do you think the people in Lagos are watching closely?
What are you asking me? If they are not watching, who is watching? I think this Morocco win is like Nigerian thing. I must tell you, it was a big victory to Africans and to Nigeria in particular.
Wow.
So this is Spain. Spain is a very strong force. For Morocco to beat them out.
Lagos is football crazy, I know. Dr. Sita, are my people watching in Abuja?
Yes, we actually feel like we are Moroccans already. We feel like, you know, yes, you know us now. You know us, we claim everything that is good. For us, success is the winners. We feel us an orphan, yes. Yeah,
okay.
Almost every Abuja life knows the names of all the players in the Moroccan team.
Oh
now,
my God.
we are following them.
Wow. Yes, we wish the Moroccans well.
Them. And then the sports, I don't know whether those sports are still in Lagos. Those football sports are full now.
My.
Exactly.
My. Well, the only thing we can do is we wish them well. The way I saw them play against Spain, those Moroccans can go places. Unfortunately, they will be meeting Portugal, and Portugal is not joking at all. So
Moroccans are not joking either.
Okay. All right then. All right, let's go to another news item, which is making waves. Presidential candidate Ahmed Bola Tinubu was in London discussing his presidential ambitions. He came to the Chatham House, a place of which has another name called Royal Institute of International Affairs, where political discussions are made, especially relating to foreign policy. And it has been the habit of APC presidential candidates to come and talk here. I recall that President Buhari was here in 2014/2015, and he made his points, and he was listened to. Ahmed Bola Tinubu was there, and he made his points. He presented his paper, and then he was asked to answer questions, and he surprised everybody that he had planned a few people to answer questions for him. Many people have reacted to this kind of plan that the man that they came to listen to has decided to have surrogates to answer for him. Well, I don't know whether that is the new way to go in Africa, but some people are challenging the Chatham House itself for being complicit and part of a fraud. That it was a fraud that the Chatham House should invite people to come and listen to a particular person, and then the particular person has been here and they have not been allowed to hear the man. So we are having a challenge here where the Chatham House has to brush itself up, and perhaps will promise their members, because it's by membership to be of Chatham House, we promise their members that such fraud will not be done again. But in my own case, I'm just observing. I've just told you what has happened here. And Chatham House is having the cudgel, is having the beat. Sir George, let me start from you. Do you see it like others have seen it? Or you think that was okay? Is the new APC presidential style?
Well, I can tell you categorically that it's not okay, it's unacceptable, it's intolerable to have a candidate to come to answer questions, and then we'll have 5 branches of people standing to answer. It's not done in politics, but anything is, how they say everything is possible in Hollywood. Now everything is possible in Nigerian politics. The main person to blame about this is Chatham House itself. You can see the fraternity between Tinubu and the man that was in charge there. It's already an understood situation whereby you are having surrogates to answer questions rather than the main person. I mean, who is going to rule Nigeria? Surrogates? Or is he going to be the one commander-in-chief? Are we going to have 5 vice presidents under him? Vice presidents of economy, vice presidents of health, or it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's really unacceptable. But
do you think it's a dent on the country, on Nigeria? Do you think it's a dent?
Well, these days anything is possible. People are bringing their own ideology into and forcing it and shoving it on the throats of people. But what they are forgetting is that Nigeria, if given the opportunity, like what everybody is decrying right now, we're going to have a free and fair election. But yet, underneath, they're planning and strategizing to find a way to corner the whole thing, of which most of them has already been exposed, and more will be exposed. But this time, the youth will not allow that to happen, because the youth will sleep 24 hours in those voting sections to make sure that their votes count. And they're planning on that. And that's going to be the big surprise on all these old politicians.
Thank you, Sir George. Dr. Osita, was it a shock in the capital city of Nigeria, Abuja, when Tinubu made his entrance into Chatham House?
Yes, we were surprised that he didn't attend the local one, and we were also surprised that he was in Chatham House, and then we were also surprised that his trip to Chatham House was a ruse, because you cannot go to an international policy institute for debate, dialogue, and diplomacy and do what Tinubu did. Nobody does that. As a matter of fact, there is no local British tabloid that published that event, because they couldn't write the story. It does not make sense. They couldn't find the content for that story. So here in Abuja, we have been talking about it. most importantly, why he decided to fly those people there. And I think also he ambushed them. You know, I might be wrong, but he ambushed them because most of them didn't know that he was going to pinpoint them to say, James, you talk about this. Matthew, you talk about this. But he did. And that was
those are the names of the disciples of Jesus. Go on.
Well, but the issue is that he called them one after the other to say, talk about security. The man who's talking about security has war in his state. People are being killed in his state, and he calls on the man to talk about security. That was a joke. But overall, like Sir George said, it's an aberration to politics, global politics, local politics, and individual content of the candidate himself. As a matter of fact, there's war back home now in Nigeria. Everybody's arguing about what he did, and those ones who are seeing it sane are the ones who are insane now. The whole country is fighting them. Anybody who talks good about what Tinubu did is at war.
Oh, okay. Let me use this occasion to welcome Dr. Godwin Ibe all the way from Moscow, Russia. Dr. Ibe, you are welcome to this program.
Thank you.
You have to teach us how to say welcome in Russian, so that when you come in, we welcome you.
I'm learning every day. Dr. Ibe, we've been talking about Bola Tinubu's entrance into Chatham House. Let me first of all ask you, how did you find it? Because I don't want to color it for you.
I found it more like checkmated everybody, just checkmate. Like tricks in the hat are finished, he just pulled another one out. Everybody, including his entourage, everyone were flabbergasted, overwhelmed, shocked. Like, nobody was expecting that. Like, the tricks aren't over. That's number one. Number two, it was this reiterate that which he has said openly that it's his turn to rule. Even though it wasn't his turn to answer the question, he has shown once again that it's irrespective of how Nigerians feel about his manifesto policies, he will still be the one to. No one can, deny him of that right. So he wants to reiterate it because he wasn't so concerned about people hearing about proving to the point that he's going to win and the team is unbreakable, like he said, yeah. So it's disappointing, but he checkmated everybody. But it's disappointing because I wanted to hear from the horse's mouth an affront to the local media industry. I mean, come on, medicals, they go abroad for to meet, they go abroad, and even for delivery manifestos, maybe to be abroad now. Yeah, it's an insult industry, and I really hope that changes because we have to patronize Nigeria and develop Nigeria.
I wanted to ask a question, Dr. Johnson. Anybody here? Is this a ploy of the survival of the fittest? Because what I'm seeing here is the man, is hiding his inability to answer questions, because if he's put on spot, this is what he's been avoiding for the longest. He will make a complete and absolute blunder.